Dave is just when he tries to be, he can be very terrifying. And the prosthetics are beautifully done. And
Non vedo l'ora di festeggiare il Natale più bello di sempre. Sarà pieno di divertimento, gioie e risate.
First of all, Merry Christmas.
yes, Merry Christmas, might as well be.
And do you believe that this movie could be a new Christmas favorite?
I think it can be. I think it definitely has the potential to be a household seasonal watch now. It has all the elements of some wonderful Christmas horror films. So I think yes.
Do you believe that Art the Clown is the devil? Because some characters ask that question. What do you think?
Oh gosh, I mean, I know the answer. I don't know if I'm allowed to say, but you know what? I think it's been pretty clear. So I do not think Art the Clown is the devil. I do think that he is being assisted by something evil. I think he was a human man, and now he is getting help from maybe the devil, maybe a demon, to continue his rampage of murderous rage.
It's interesting how your character has the strength and also weapons to fight Art thanks to her dead imagination. Do you believe that imagination is really like a superpower?
Absolutely. I think imagination is a superpower. I don't think I would be an actor if I didn't believe that. I think in so many areas of your life, I mean, this is more of a broad answer. I think that without imagination, there's not much that we have. Without imagination, we can't achieve the things we want to achieve. So absolutely, I think so.
In this movie, we see that when she's little, she asks her father to make an heroine because she sees only superheroes and not heroines. So
Yes.
do you believe that it's important to have strong female characters also in horror movies? Because generally they are scream queens. Instead, your character is really tough. It's more than a scream queen.
Thank you. Thank you for saying that. Absolutely. I think representation across the board is important. I think representation in minority groups is important, whether you're a woman, a person of color. I think it emboldens, especially young people, to be strong. And I think, especially with me, I've grown up watching horror films. I love horror films, and I love the final girls, the strong final girls in horror films. And I feel like they raised me into the feisty person that I am today. So I think it's absolutely important, and I hope we continue to see that in horror and just in all types of genres and forms of media.
Since you are a fan of horror, do you really believe that, especially in the last few years, is the best genre to describe today's world, unfortunately?
Maybe, unfortunately, I try not to be so pessimistic about it, but maybe so. I actually was just talking to my hairdresser. I just got my hair washed and blown out, and we were just talking about all the things that are happening all over the world, and it's so sad and depressing. So I do think that horror, the world has more horrors already happening right now that can ever be put in a film. So that's really unfortunate. Again, I try not to think about it. I try to be positive, and there are so many beautiful things about the world, but I do think horror is a good way to describe what's happening currently.
And since you are an actress and now you know all the tricks, what scares you now when you watch an horror movie?
Gosh, that's tough. That's a tough question. I think timing. I think timing is important. I think how a scene unfolds is what really scares me now. Because obviously, we have an expression like if you see the sausage made, you won't want to eat that sausage anymore, or something along those lines. But I think, and also imagery. There are certain practical effects. I saw this movie called Caveat, and it's a movie from the UK, and it might be one of the first movies in years that I had to watch through my fingers because I was so scared of this makeup put on this person. I highly recommend it. And again, I think it's editing and I think it's timing. I think that that really helps with fear these days for me.
Do you enjoy scaring people? Because this saga is really tough. So, do you enjoy scaring people?
Yes, I do. In fact, when I was younger and up until like my early adulthood, I would give out candy to children, and on Halloween, obviously, not just in general, on Halloween, and I would dress up head to toe, and they would think I was a mannequin, so that I wasn't a real person. So I would just hold the bowl, and whenever I felt like I wanted to scare a kid and they would put their hand in the bowl, I would like jump at them, and it was the best feeling to scare someone. Yeah, I really enjoy it.
Again, since this saga is really tough, it's really gore, there's a lot of blood. How do you decompress after you shoot a really gore scene?
It's hard because I was speaking to Maria, who was our wonderful intimacy coordinator on set, and I was apologizing because I had just done a very emotionally driven scene and I was sweating. And I was like, Maria, I'm so sorry. I feel like I smell because I'm sweating so much. And she was like, your body doesn't know the difference. You're putting your body through stress. You know that you're not stressed, but your body doesn't. So it is hard to decompress. So what I like to do is when I get back to my room, I might take a bath. I might put on a facial mask. I definitely take deep breaths, a lot of breathing work, and I might try to watch something funny.
In this chapter, we see that Hart has a chainsaw. Since chainsaw is really iconic in horror, what do you think will win in a fight between him and Ash and Leatherface?
Oh my gosh, that's hard. Because Leatherface is wild. He's wild with his chainsaw, and like a Ash is a like he's a pro with his chainsaw. God, oh, that's so hard. I feel like the fans of the franchise would hate me, but I don't tell Damien and Dave, but I feel like Ash would win because he's used to fighting demonic evil, and I think good always, or actually not always, especially in this franchise, good more often than not triumphs over evil. So in my mind, I'd like to think that Ash would win, but I think Art has a good chance of winning too.
What do you think when he smiles at you on set? Now, are you used to it, or every time it terrifies you? What do you feel?
Yeah, it depends. In between takes, he doesn't scare me at all. Dave is not a scary guy. Even in the makeup, he's just very disarming. He's basically like a Looney Tune. Like he's just a silly, funny guy. But there are times in scenes that it's very unnerving for me. And I think that's also because I truly like to believe where I'm at as an actor. I like to have a sense of space and I like to try to bring as much honesty and truth to the role. And also Dave is just when he tries to be, he can be very terrifying. And the prosthetics are beautifully done and horrific. So it's not hard to be scared of him.
Okay, thank you so much for your time. Thank you.
Thank you, Valentina. I appreciate it.